Welcome to Module 7, Practicing with Assemblies. In Unit 1, we are going to do the first step to construct a clamp. We have our parts already constructed and we drag to fix the fixed jaw. Next, we drag, insert the guide, and we must state the relationships. Axial align between this axis of the guide and the fixed jaw, and the second axis align between these two axes. Finally, I need to do a planar line between this face of the guide and the top face of the fixed jaw. As I'm going to do the draft of the clamp, I need to position the elements correctly to have my draft correctly done. Now I click and drag the next part, which is going to be the movable jaw. Again, I have to state the relationships. Axial align between this axis and this other axis of the guide, and you can drag if you like to have a better position of your parts when you need to select an element. So I drag a little bit and I state the axial align between these two axes. So now I have my movable jaw correctly positioned. The next part I'm going to insert is going to be the pin. The pin which is going to be inserted in the guide. So I state an axial align between this axis and the axis in the hole of the guide. And now I want to position correctly the pin. I want it to be centered in the guide. So now I'm going to activate the reference planes for the guide. Okay, I have these planes now. They are the reference planes of the guide, not of the assembly. I change the point of view. Okay, and now I zoom so you can see it better. I'm going to establish a relationship, in this case mate faces, between the face of the pin and this plane of the guide. And now I'm going to move it, so I click on the last relationship I have stated and insert 7. So it's going to move 7 millimeters. So now I am sure it is correctly centered. 7 millimeters because the pin, the length is 14. And now the pin is correctly positioned. And it won't move because when I'm going to insert motors, I need to have the parts correctly positioned. I drag now and I'm going to I'm going to hide the reference planes because now I don't need the reference planes for the guide anymore. But I'm sure now my pin is perfectly centered and it won't move when I insert the motors. This is the screw I have dragged, and I'm going to state the relationship. Of course, axle align between the axis of the screw and the hole the fixed jaw has. And now, to have it correctly positioned, planar align between this face and this other face of the fixed jaw. So again, I'm sure the screw won't move when I insert motors. This is the end of Module 7, Unit 1. In Unit 2, we will finish constructing the clamp.